What's up, everybody? My name is Brian Evans, and I help actors to create their own material so they have a little bit more control over their careers. It helps them to get agents, it helps them to get in the game and distinguish themselves from every other actor on the planet. Today, I want to talk to you about why 98% of actors fail. And by fail, I mean they're not making enough throughout their career to actually support themselves and make a living as actors. Every actor wants to be, at the very minimum, a working actor, meaning their lifestyle is paid for by their acting. And we have a lot of actors that are just not doing that. A study that I've seen recently, The Guardian says that only 2% of actors are actually achieving that goal of sustaining a living as actors. And I'm going to talk to you about why that happens, what the industry actually wants from you, and how to start putting yourself on the path to getting it so you can start making that living as an actor and living your dream. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for me. And I think it's something that every one of us can achieve if we just start taking a little bit more agency over our career. So let's get started. Okay, the number one reason why so many actors fail to get that goal of making it as an actor is because so many of us don't know what our value is to the industry. Now, when we use the word value, we have to be a little bit careful because this is not what you're worth as a person. It's about what you as an actor, as an artist, is worth to the industry, to the people that you hope will eventually one day pay you to do this job. The industry is not always just looking for a good actor. You would hope so. You would hope that would be the way it works. But look, I'm in the room a lot of the times as a producer, and sometimes I'm the person running the room where we're initiating a project and we have to find the money to produce this project. And as it works in the game, actors are the draw to most films. It's the reason why people show up. It's the reason why people want to see the film. And there's a lot of other factors. There's story, there's performance, there's lighting, there's all those things. But people usually come because an actor that they like or they're interested in is in that film. And so if that's the case, we have to find actors that have a significant value. And when we talk about value, when we're talking about producing things, it's about what kind of audience does that actor have? Where do those people live? How many people is it that that actor has that will come to a film just because that person is in it? Of course, you're not going to have a big audience in the beginning, but I come across actors all the time. They go in for auditions and they come out of that room. They don't get the role sometimes, and they're angry. They're taking it personally, or they're upset and they're kind of beating themselves up because they think they've done something wrong. It doesn't have anything to do with that. There are things you can do about it, and I'm going to talk about some of those in the video, but let me keep going for a moment and we'll get to that, okay? The second reason why so many actors fail is because they believe in big break theory. Now, if you don't know what big break theory is, it is this belief that you're going to struggle, pay dues over and over again for years, and then suddenly you're going to get one single role that's going to become your big break, make you famous, make you rich, and put you in a position where you can cherry pick roles for the rest of your life. That is unlikely to happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. It certainly happened to some people, but for most actors, success is an incremental path. It is something that happens slowly over time in role after role where they rise in the ranks through different projects. And that means that what you're doing in the meantime matters. What you're doing to make yourself more visible matters. What you're doing to stay oiled as an actor and not get rusty in those in-between times matters. All of these things come into play because big break theory is the dream and it's not usually the reality, okay? Sometimes they're not even aware they're thinking that way, but a lot of us are, okay? And it's something we have to get rid of, okay? The third reason why actors fail is because they're using the wrong blueprint. If you heard me talk before, I've said many times that the Hollywood blueprint goes like this. Basically, you go to class and you study and become as good as you possibly can. You go out and you network and try to find people that you can connect with that can help you to get into the rooms. Then you go to as many auditions as you possibly can, and then you basically pray you get the role. The blueprint is antiquated. It's the way old Hollywood worked, okay? It's not the 1950s, guys. People are not discovered anymore. Actors need to take an active role in creating their careers for themselves. You know, back in the days, they would find someone who was good looking, and studios or, you know, different managers or agents, they would put them into classes and get them really good at acting and help them along the path to become better and better at this craft because they saw potential. That is the old days. And now in 2025, we have to start doing those things for ourselves. We have to identify what we're good at. We have to find ways to get that on screen. We have to develop our skills. We have to be active, and we have to take responsibility for our own success. And that's awesome in a way. You don't have to wait for an audition to be able to show what you can do. And showing what you can do is the first step that every actor needs to do in order to get those opportunities that every single actor wants. And getting out there with your own material is the way to begin that process. We as actors have so much more control these days than we ever had before. Use that control. The next reason why so many actors don't make it is because they forget why they started acting in the first place. Now, if you're an actor, when you came in, you probably saw something, felt something, did something. You had a play, you watched a movie, you connected with friends, and you guys created something where you were inspired to do this work. It was a dream. It was something bigger than just a job. Most people are not acting to do a job. It's a dream for them. It's a passion for them. It's something that lights them up in a way that almost nothing else does. And if that's what you're doing it for, that is the thing that's driving you. But when you start acting and you want to make a living doing it, then money comes in to play. You're running around, you're doing shift work or part-time jobs trying to support yourself. You're trying to balance that between self-tapes and auditions, and it's stressful and it's painful sometimes, and there's a lot of rejection, and you're not making very much money, and it is a very difficult thing, and over time that passion can wane. And all of those things combined creates a circumstance under which a lot of actors burn out, and many of those people quit the business. And honestly, it's understandable, but it's not what I want for you. Not if you really love this. So what I suggest, if you can't get your feelings to a space where this is exciting to you and inspiring to you and bringing up passion for you, you're way more likely to quit, okay? And the only way that you can create that passion for yourself when things are not going the way you want them to go is to create work that you're excited about, create roles that you're excited about, work with people who are there for the same reason that you are. Right now, I'm in a negotiation for another project of mine, a feature film that I'm going to be doing next year. And I have a couple of good guys that want to do this film with me as producers, but it's becoming clear to me that the motivations between the few of us may be different. I don't really make films because I'm excited about the money. I'm always happy to get paid. I'm always happy to have some additional money in my bank account, but I'm doing it because this is something I love. The creative process, the acting, the writing, the producing, that is the thing for me. Some people, you know, they do hair. Some people are, you know, computer guys, and they love that. They love algorithms and coding. For me, this is it. For me, I would be super upset if I never got to act or write or produce again. And that is where we have to kind of make our decisions. It's how we know if this is right for us. If this is a desire that you have that won't leave you alone, that you can't quit, because that's how I feel. Every time I think I might quit, if I ever thought that in the past, I get a new idea the next day that gets me back on the horse, that gets me excited about this again, and I can't stop myself from pursuing it. If that's how you feel, you have to understand that the passion that you feel is often what drives you and gets you through the difficult times. And so if you're getting to the point where this business, which can be very rough for a million reasons, some of which I've just listed, then doing a project that's tailor-made for you doing it with a group of people that you really like, respect, and admire, that's going to get you back in the game. Because if you don't pay attention to those feelings, it won't be long before they disappear. It puts people into places where they're doing work that doesn't align with their values, it doesn't align with them as people, and it ruins the special thing that this acting thing is. Don't forget why you got into the business. That's the answer to burnout, okay? There is a factor that most actors are not looking at in this game, and that is the happiness factor. They feel like they got to hunker down and get through the rough part to get to the good part. You should be thinking about your happiness every day. Doesn't mean there might not be difficult times or challenging times, but you've got to look for ways to get happiness and enjoyment out of the process along the way. When things aren't going well and auditions aren't going well, you got to reinvigorate yourself with projects that are made for you, where you don't have to compete for them, where you can have some control over what you do, where you don't have to worry about rejection. These are things that save me anyway. I can only speak to what works for me, but it's advice that I think will serve a lot of you. Feeling is the secret. Don't allow that to go away. The last thing I'm going to mention that causes so many actors to fail is they don't use their voice. And I don't mean their voice from a creative standpoint. I'm talking about the still small voice in your head that is telling you what's right and what's wrong. You don't have to give up everything you are to become part of this business. You don't have to give up your values. You don't have to give up what's important to you. You can trust who you are, and you can trust the parameters that you set for yourself. Don't betray yourself to get into this game. It's really not worth it. If you stick to who and what you are, you will still arrive. Even if it takes a little bit longer, that's okay. Trust yourself, be true to yourself, and be persistent, and make sure that you're not waiting for somebody to let you in, because that's a big part of it. Make sure that you're taking steps through creation to get out into the world, to connect with that audience, and you will arrive there before long, okay? So the bottom line is what the industry actually wants from you is they want the ability to attract an audience to the project. If you start building your own audience and you don't have to depend on them to get that audience, you will have so much more power than the average actor because you have people that are ready to come with you where you go. And that is something that will give you as an actor control, agency, and power for yourself in the game. These are things that have worked for me. It's the way I've leveraged a bunch of deals for myself. And it's something that I don't see enough actors doing. It's, in my opinion, why a lot of actors don't make it, because they think the only way to get there is to ask people permission. Auditions are great. Auditions provide opportunities all the time. But there are not enough good roles for the number of good actors that are out there. So maybe you need to create some. Maybe you need to connect with a group and collaborate and make some that work for you, that give you a platform to show what you're able to do, that give you a vehicle to get from where you are to where you want to go. That's all I'm going to say for today. Listen, at the end of the day, 98% of actors, according to The Guardian anyway, are not getting where they want to go. And I think part of it is that there's a misconception about what creates value for you as an actor. Part of it is going to be your ability to do some of this without them, to create work that's great for you, that shows what you're able to do without an audition, that gives you the opportunity to build an audience without having to ask somebody for permission to be a part of their project in order to do that. Every actor has the ability to do that in 2025. It doesn't take a ton of money to do it. It doesn't take a billion people to do it. I just made an amazing feature film where a lot of the days I only had 3 people on set as my crew, and the film looks awesome. Trust yourself. If this is calling you to do it, get out and start making something right now. I think it's going to change the entire trajectory of your career. I'm Brian Evans. I hope to see you guys next time. Hit that subscribe button so you know every time we put out a video. We're here. We want to help. We love you. I know who you are, what you're going through. I've been there before, and I hope that we can help. But even if you don't do it with me, get started creating right away. It's really going to do something for you, okay? We'll talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next video.